Hi folks, this is Vicki at patternprincess.com. Today I want to show you how to do a shawl made out of shawl and a ball. It's just a one skein of yarn, and this one here is actually my first one I've ever done, and it just increases on one side. This is the straight side, and then this is the side it increases on. This is where I started, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course this is the nice wide part here. So it's really nice. It's an asymmetrical, very easy to do. If you can double crochet and chain one, you can do this pattern. Let me see here. It's the widest part from, hopefully you can see it here, from this point to this point is 39 inches. And the length from this tip here to this tip here, piece of hair there, is 55 inches. And it was made out of one skein of yarn that was 512 yards long. And it's from Lion Brand yarns. It's shawl and a ball. It's a very nice light yarn. It says it's a number 4 medium, but boy, I think it's a little bit nice, thinner than that, I would say, but it was a lovely yarn to work with. However, it is difficult if you make a mistake to rip it out. This shawl would have probably been 1 inch longer had I not kept goofing up the first part of it, because as I said, I had never made one of these before, so it took me a little bit to figure out how to make this. So I'm going to show you how to make it. I have used a size G hook, 4.25 millimeter. And this is what that shawl and a ball looks like. Now this one here, this color here, this original color I did here was Restful Rainbow. I don't remember if I told you that. So Restful Rainbow, shawl and a ball, Lion Brand. This one here I'm going to use is Soothing Blue. And it is, this one here, I lied, it's 518 yards. And it says that it's a medium, number 4 yarn. And I'm using, like I said, a G hook on it. So I'm going to slide this off, and I'm going to get going. Now this pattern is a 12-row pattern to set it up. Once you set it up, it's a repeat of rows 9 through 12, and I just kept repeating until I ran out of the yarn. Now, when I got to the very end, to be honest, I went until I thought, well, okay, I'm going to see how long this shawl is going to take me, and I got to here. I thought, really? I'm not going to be able to do the rest of this whole long row and have to tear it out when I had all of that. So I tore out about half of it, and then I made my stitches just a little bit tighter. So I eked it out all the way to the end, and I did have enough to weave in, just a scant amount. So it just barely worked out. So I did... I cheated a little bit and made sure that my stitches were a little bit tighter. But as you can see, this yarn and the yarn that was there too, there's all kinds of colors inside of it. So it's a nice variegated yarn. The beauty is you're going to get all kinds of different colors that to work with, and you don't have to be changing yarn, weaving in lots and lots of ends. So let's get started here. As you can see, this is a very nice light yarn. It's a very soft yarn. The end results are going to be a very nice, lightweight, soft shawl. So let's get going then. Excuse me. What we're going to do is get my slip knot onto my hook. Here we go. And everybody has a little bit of a different way of putting their slip knot on their hook, but this is how you start your crochet project out, is getting that little slip knot on the hook. I like to leave a long tail on my work, because then I know I have plenty to weave in. I also do my tension by wrapping it around my pinky and wrapping it around my index finger. So we'll get going. So the very first thing that we do is we're going to chain 4. So yarn over, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to yarn over again, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. Well, and the 4th chain from the hook is going to end up to be that very first chain that we did. So I'm going to put my hook through the yarn right here. And I'm going to do 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Row 1 is done. Now we're going to turn it. At the end of each row, you're going to turn it. So then row 2 is going to be chain 3. 1, 2, 3. and we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So that means that from now on, this side here is going to be, when you turn it, is going to be the side we're going to increase. Whenever we get to this side over here, we're not going to increase. It's going to be the straight edge. It's going to be the straight side. So, okay, so 2 double crochet in the same stitch. See how I just worked in that same stitch I started to chain 3 from? So right back down there. So there's a 2 double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 stitch here. It might be a little bit hard to see with this fine yarn. I hope that you're able to see it and follow along. And then right here in the end is your last double crochet. And then we're ready to move on to row 3. Okay, sorry about that. I was just ready to move on to row 3, and the neighbor came and the dog started barking, and so we're good again. All right, so row 3, we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to yarn over, and we are going to do a double crochet in the next 4 stitches. So in this next stitch here, here is 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, let me see here, 2. Sometimes it might be a little bit hard to see. Hopefully on the screen you can see. I'm going right here and going through underneath both of the loops. And then make sure that your 4th one goes in that very last, the top stitch of that chain 3, and sometimes I just get it in there, I kind of push it on. Did you see that? So then there's my double crochet. So we have 5 stitches total, chain 3, or 5 double crochets. So we got a chain 3 and then 4 double crochets total. Let's put it that way. All right, so we have that done. So let's move on to row 4. Remember, we turn it each time. So row 4, we're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, 2. My yarn's bunching up. Just give me a moment. Make sure we have a good yarn here. Okay. Then after that, we're going to chain 1 and skip 1. So chain 1, and then, so right here, we're working in this first one. So this one right here is the one we're going to skip, okay? This one here is the one we're going to do a double crochet in. All right, so chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that was my first double crochet, yarn over, and then on the top of this one is my next double crochet. And then in the very top stitch of that first chain 3 is my last double crochet. And there we go, got it through. And you can see my yarn's already starting to change color. You see this? It's going from a little bit of a white blue to more of a darker blue. It's already starting to change for me. So now I'm gonna turn my row. So now we're going to go into row 5. Now, remember, you can start to see too, this is your straight edge. This is the side I'm always increasing on. So now with row 5, I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. Yarn over, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch. So right here, double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next 3 stitches, okay? So chain 1, skip this one here. Now, where that chain 1 space is, it's a little bit hard sometimes because this is such a delicate yarn, it likes to pull a little bit tight, but that's okay, we can get it through. Just take your time. So there's your first double crochet, and then we have 2 more. So 1 right here, and then 1 right here. Okay, so then in the very last stitch here, we're going to do 3 double crochet. Okay, so in that same stitch, 1, 2, and this is allowing us to do our decrease. So here we go, or I should say increase. There we go. So now I'm going to turn it, and we are on to row 6 already. So we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. and then 2 double crochet in the same stitch, because that's going to help us do even more of the making the shawl wider. So in the same stitch, 2 double crochet. There you go. Then chain 1, skip 1. Chain 1. We're going to, okay, we're in this one. We're going to skip this one here. So we go to this one, double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and then double crochet, and in the next 2 as well, 1, and then the last one. And so row 6 is done. So it's a chain 3, 2 double crochet in the first stitch there, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, or I should say double crochet in the next 3 stitches, chain 1, skip 1, and a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And again, this side staying straight, this one's starting to increase. Turn it. Now we're going to be on row 7. So now it's chain 2, and then in the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a double crochet. So here we go. 1, 2. Now I got to get in here. It's a little bit hard to do. 3. All right, so we've done the 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Now we chain 1, and then skip 1, and then double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So what you're doing is you're really, your chain 1 and skipping 1 and the 3 double crochet is really going to be the pattern on most of the rows. What's going to be different is the end. And what happens is when you change the ends, you're changing where this hole is all over where your chain 1 hole, and it gives it a nice, nice textured look to it. So I got to look here where we are. Chain 1, skip 1, and then we chain 1, skip 1, and then double crochet. Okay, and then in the very last stitch, we're going to do the 3 double crochets. That top chain 1, 2, 3. And we are moving on to row 8. I'm going to get a little bit more yarn, and I'll join you right back here.